Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. More importantly, it is my honor, my pleasure to introduce the First Lady of the great state of New Jersey, Mary Pat Christie, who is the chair of the Hurricane Sandy New Jersey Relief Fund. Good to see you.
Great to see you, Steve.
We're doing this program right before Thanksgiving, just a couple days before. It is a time for a lot of people to give thanks. It's also a time for a lot of folks to think about others who are suffering and dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy. The Hurricane Sandy New Jersey Relief Fund, by the way, throughout this segment, you will see that website. There's a reason for it. Tell everyone why that website is up and what this organization is.
Sure. Well, thanks, Steve. So my husband asked me to chair this effort, and the Sandy New Jersey Relief Fund is going to really focus on New Jersey and really try to help where insurance checks and FEMA checks run out. There'll be a gap, and we would like to be there to help people rebuild their homes and rebuild their lives.
You know, I'm sure a lot of people were thinking this during those first few days. You said that the governor called you on a Thursday, I believe it was,
Yes.
after the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. You know him better than anyone else, I would imagine. Did you anticipate that he was going to say, Mary Pat, we need to do this?
Sure. Well, it's certainly his nature. He's a really compassionate person, and I think that New Jersey and the country saw that as he walked around these towns that were absolutely devastated and really embraced people, literally embraced people. And he would come home from those days just exhausted but emotionally spent, and knew literally within 2 days that we had to try to spearhead something to really focus on New Jersey and really try to help the people that were hurting so badly.
You know, let's make it clear to folks, because there are lots of other great organizations out there, American Red Cross and Salvation Army, so many great organizations. This is different. And I want to make sure people understand this is a not-for-profit, a 501c3, that's its tax status, right?
Yes.
As we do this program, you're building up, I hate to use the word infrastructure, because so much of the infrastructure has to be built up in the state. You're building up the organization. Let's make it clear. People log on to the site. They want to give. And by the way, to date, I believe it's close to $17 million.
Yes, it is.
Very close. And while there are some very big checks that have come in, I also heard you talk to our colleague, Mike Schneider, over at NJ Today.
Right.
Just last night you did the program. And you're talking about lots of smaller checks coming to the website. Make that clear as well.
Sure. Well, that's been really exciting for me. We have this website where people donate, and we also have people from all over the country mailing in checks. I told a story, I think, about a lemonade stand of these 3-year-olds in California, and their father said, I'll match it 2 to 1, and they sent a check in for $700+. And we have over 7,000 donors on our website, last count, and that actually, I need an update. It was a day or 2 ago.
How's that feel?
Really gratifying as the First Lady of New Jersey, because I have to tell you, the letters we're getting about people's days, summers spent at the Jersey Shore, just really tug at your heartstrings. They really do. You
know, your family spends a lot of time down the Jersey Shore. In fact, some of them have been publicized, those trips. You can't even go on the boardwalk without folks following you and taking pictures and the media being there. But for you and the governor and your 4 children, that's a big part of your lives. So beyond the governmental part of it, beyond the fundraising part of it, in terms of what has to be done now and using all the cachet and the relationships to do this, what does it mean to the Christie family personally to be involved, just in terms of the shore part? And there's so much more involved, but just the Jersey Shore part.
Well, I think it's given us a resolve, because it is so important to us, and we've spent so many days and summers at the shore. We really feel like we want to build it up for the state and, build back stronger. I know my children want to go back on a roller coaster.
What did they say? I'm sorry for interrupting, Mary Pat, but what did they say as this was happening?
No, I think that they were just as stunned, and as you continue to see the pictures, it really becomes ingrained into your head and your heart that I can't believe this has really changed so much, so dramatically. And I even said to Chris, well, how's the boardwalk at Point Pleasant? We see all the pictures of Casino Pier in Seaside, but how's that boardwalk in Point Pleasant? And you know what? It's probably just as bad. So it's going to be a real rebuilding for the next 8 months, and hope we can have some fun again next summer.
You know, the fun for us, those of us who live up north but vacation down there,
Right.
it's one thing. But for those who, their lives are there, right? It's very different.
Right.
What, as the governor has come back to talk to you, and he's been face to face with so many of those people and has provided a degree of leadership beyond the governmental response with the state and the federal government, the coordination and all that, which is complicated enough, but the human part of it. Has there been a part of this in him that has in any way surprised you in terms of the human interaction, that he has shown the compassion for those folks when you can't solve their problem, but you can give them a hug and they're
Right.
crying on your shoulder? Is that any of that?
Oh, that's so him.
That's
and
him.
It's certainly a part of Chris that I don't think people have really had an opportunity to see. There haven't really been these situations. I mean, Hurricane Irene certainly brought that out to some extent, but nothing like this. And it certainly didn't surprise me. And I know that he's a very comforting person. He always says the right thing when, you know, even if there's a death that military service people have had, you know, he really knows and never hesitates to call the family and make sure that they know we're thinking of them. He's really good at that. And the other misperception I think that might be out there is that so many of these shore towns have really become full-time residents. Seabright is a perfect example where
Right.
there's, I believe, 1,800 residents, and in the summertime it swells to 20 to 30,000 people a day. So those people are really, their lives are turned upside down. So those are really the people that we're so concerned about.
And before we end the interview, I want to make it clear. There's going to be a process, Mary Pat, where people actually submit their
Right.
applications, grant applications. You're setting up a process where there's going to be professionals who
Yes.
review those grants, who make tough decisions, right?
Sure, it'll be a competitive grant process is what it's called. So, and we already have policies and procedures in place. I have, you know, a professional staff, probably going to be about 4 or 5 people. There'll be an operating board that will really end up approving all of these grants. But it's going to be very professional, very efficient. I am a person with not a lot of time, so I've already warned everybody that we're going to do this process, you know, transparently, and really make sure it's done right.
And the role of former United States Senator Bill Bradley in this is very significant.
Yeah, no, I was thrilled that Senator Bradley agreed to be the honorary vice chairman, and all of the people that are on this advisory board. There's so many great New Jerseyans,
Sure.
and we still have people calling us saying that they want to help. And I think to lend your name to this effort really says a lot about the people of New Jersey and how important the state is and how much people want to help. I mean, it's a real tragedy what's happened here, and I'm not going to let people forget about it as long as they'll keep listening to me.
Yeah, you know, finally, while some very large grants have come in, sponsorships, $1 million range, $500,000 range, they know who they are and they're not looking to be recognized here. One more time, a pitch to all of those who have $5, $10, $50, $75, whatever it is. They go on that website, which has been up the entire time. They go on, make a commitment to those folks that those dollars are going to a good cause. Let them know.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, and it will. I promise to be a really good steward of their money because we need it, and I don't take it lightly, the responsibility, and I promise to do the right thing with the money.
Being fiscally responsible, we're all in
Yes.
on that one. The First Lady of the great state of New Jersey, Mary Pat Christie, the chair of the Hurricane Sandy New Jersey Relief Fund. I want to thank you for joining us. You're making a big difference.
Thanks so much, Steve.
We're all in this together. This is Steve Adubato. We'll be right back right after this.
Many people throughout the state have been devastated by Hurricane Sandy. If you'd like to make a difference, you can show your support to the Hurricane Sandy New Jersey Relief Fund. Visit their website at sandynjrelieffund.org. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, founded by the Jewish community. New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, and banking under the principle of stewardship. Wells Fargo. Cohn Resnick, forward thinking. The law firm of Gibbons, P.C. And by MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey. Promotional support provided by NJ Biz, All Business, All New Jersey. And by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and its monthly magazine, New Jersey Business. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.